SimSation back at you. I'm going to do a Thursday video here for you, but it's going to be a little bit different this time. You can see that I'm sitting at my desktop. I'm not on that Linux right there, though. That's on my racing rig next to me. I got a Assetto Corsa pulled up. So I said in one of the videos that I was going to test StormOS for 30 days, and I meant what I said. So we're going to be at a week later, and how is StormOS Linux working out for SimSation? Well, I'm going to show you because I'm going to do 2 or 3 racing titles in a Linux video. That way you can see exactly how we run. The hardware, in case you missed it, is a Ryzen 5 2600X. We have 16 gigs of mismatched DDR4 memory, and we've got an RX 6700 XT 12 gig graphics card. So we have a very capable system, even if we were on Windows or anything else for that matter. But we are on StormOS Linux. So as you can see, I've got a Assetto Corsa pulled up on there right now. And I think we're going to do a Assetto Corsa, Dirt Rally, Dirt 3. iRacing's out because of the anti-cheat, but R Factor 2. We're going to do that one. And that's going to be our quick testing here. It's not going to be quick testing. It's probably going to be a normal length video. I don't think I'm going to do any commentary during the test sessions, but I'm going to let you know how it worked. And you'll be able to see if there's any glitches, hiccups, or freezes or anything like that. I mean, that's pretty automatic, right? So you'll be able to see that. Sorry about the green screen not working. We are on my Hackintosh Mac OS Tahoe. That was last Thursday's video. So I'm on that machine right now because I'm actually going to edit not just this video, but Tuesday's video with it. And then I'm probably going to have to take it out because it just doesn't quite have the hardware we need. You see our Linux machine went to sleep, so I'll have to wake it back up and re-password in. I should have probably set the screen to go a little bit longer than that. But I want to leave you guys on the record button. Probably going to mute this microphone out because we're using my desktop mic, as you can see. So I'm probably going to mute it out, leave you guys on record, and I'm going to go over there and turn some laps. And I'm not going to turn a ton of laps, but just enough so you can see how smoothly it operates and things like that. To talk a little bit about StormOS, it is developed by Ben Fitzpatrick. You can see that on the website, and I'll put links in there for it for the download. You can download the lightweight version, which is XFCE, or you can download what SimSation's using, which is the KDE Plasma version. The big advantage to it is you can install your graphics drivers while you're installing your operating system, and those are the proprietary discrete graphics drivers. Now it blacked all the way out, so it's really to sleep, right? Furthermore, I haven't had any problems getting Assetto Corsa or Factor 2, both which are Windows games, to work on Linux using Proton GE. So Proton GE is what I'm using on these. R Factor 2 didn't want to work at first, neither did Assetto Corsa. But when I put the Proton GE in, I didn't do anything else, and both of them worked fine. So that fixed those, thankfully, and we got them working. Dirt 3 and Rally are both Linux compatible, so is American Truck Simulator, so you won't have any problem running those titles on Linux, but you will on these other ones. So the other reason for the video, and I'm not going to do it in this video because it's a 30-day challenge and I'm a weekend, right? So you're going to see 4 videos on this total, the Linux install, and then 3 of what I did this week, what I got working, what I couldn't get working. So I am working in the background on NASCAR Racing 2003, which was a Windows game from when? 2003, right? But it's got a cult following, and if PC Steve's watching the video, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about because he still does it. I switched to iRacing back in 2008, and I've been on iRacing since beta in 2008 is my background. But I went through all the Papyrus Sims before that from the original NASCAR Racing up. So SimRacing's always been my thing. But the biggest thing is I'm using my Moza R5 direct drive wheel, and I'll show you the software when I get over there because I found software. Nothing had to be coded, guys. This is the nice part. When it comes to gaming, I don't think that people even consider the vast repository of Arch Linux. So StormOS is based on Arch, just like Cache, and the repository is absolutely huge. I mean, absolutely huge. And you can go in that software store on StormOS and find about anything you want. And I'm not kidding. I Googled the Moza R5 will. Some said, oh, it'll work natively, but the problem is you won't have any force feedback. Well, it turns out there was somebody who decided to take the Moza software, which is called Pithouse, and basically turn it into a Linux version. And you can make your force feedback and everything work, and I think you're going to see that when we go into testing today. I may put my microphone over there so I can do a little talking while I'm testing, but we're going to get to that right now. I'm not going to sit here and talk too much because we're just wasting video, right? But it's going to be a 30-day challenge. So these are the videos you're going to see, and they're going to be kind of in this format, but I'm going to switch back to my normal editing rig pretty soon. I just wanted to give the little Macintosh a chance, but this project is for a completely bigger project, this Macintosh thing, or this Hackintosh thing. The Hack Mac, we'll call it. Mac Hack, Mac, whatever. It's hotter than a Dickens in Florida. It's another hot Sunday. So I'm going to take some time in the air conditioning and just play around today. And I hope you guys and gals enjoy the video and have a lot of fun with SimSation, because this is what I'm doing to beat the heat today. How's that? I'm going to do it to beat the heat. So if you have considered switching from Windows to Linux, I think that times are changing. And what I mean by that is the tide is changing. And I believe if you come over as a gamer, it's going to be an early adoption of the gamers. And you're going to be far ahead of the curve 5 years down the road. I believe anti-cheats are going to come to Linux. I firmly believe that because of all the people switching to it. And I think it was my wife that I was just telling the other day that Linux should have always been the mainstream OS. The difference was Microsoft had the money to pay the OEMs like Dell and HP and them to pre-install Windows on their PCs versus Linux not having the dollars to have it pre-installed. And that's what made Microsoft so big and Mac so big, and that's why the free software, the free OS, Linux, never really went anywhere. It did, but it did it with people who understood computers and also people who understood coding. So what other, the way I can put it with Linux, and it's the best way to sum it up for people on Windows, is this. What other OS can you just completely choose all those different versions, or you can install any desktop environment you want? And there are hundreds out there, right? Can you do that on Windows? No. Can you do it on Mac OS? Absolutely not. But Linux gives you the ability to do that. So all these years with those abilities to create whatever you want on a computer, why was Linux not the king from the beginning? It's going to be because I think times are changing, and I think people are changing, and I think we're going to see Linux really take off from this point on. I really do. So the anti-cheats, if you're watching this video, get to coding, because everybody's switching, and SimSation is making a 100% switch away from Windows. You're going to hear it on this video first. I have 4 races left in my iRacing series for WFO Racing League that I've owned since 2018. I started the league in 2018, and me and the other guy I started it with have decided we're done. So we're not going to run any further seasons on that league, and I'm shutting that league down. So when I shut the league down, I really don't want to race on there much anymore. I just like testing and playing around with the mini stock cars. So I want to do some NASCAR Racing 2003 stuff again, and I want to play around with the Linux stuff. I'm doing away with Windows because I can finally say I'm doing away with iRacing. And iRacing, you have to have Windows because of the easy anti-cheat system. So until I'll go back to iRacing if easy anti-cheat starts working right on Linux, and I can run iRacing on Linux, but I will not go back to iRacing on Windows because I will not go back to Windows. I will use Mac OS on not just this computer that I'm on now, but I'll use it on the main editing rig. That's going from Windows to Mac OS. That was also the rig I've conveniently been doing iRacing on, dual purpose, right? So I will change all that, and that's going to come in Thursday videos. So you're going to see the swap where SimSation in the next within the time that my Linux 30-day challenge is over, I will have completely switched to Mac OS for editing and to Linux for everything else. So pay attention to this video and to see how the gaming goes, because I think that the future of gaming is Linux. All right, here we go. I wasn't going to commentate this part, but I decided that I'm going to go ahead and commentate it a little bit, because what's the sense in testing if you're not going to commentate it, right? We're loading into Assetto Corsa first. All I did was click play. You see the video start right here at the beginning. Had to do a quick download to get it going, but no big deal there, right? We're just going to hit enter, and I'm going to do some testing for you here. We'll run 2 or 3 laps in this car. I'll just go ahead and pick Moza. That's what I've been practicing on. So got a main menu right here. I'm going to go to drive, practice. We're at Moza in the Lotus Elise SE. So let's go ahead and start the engine here. Take a couple laps with me on here. That way you guys and gals can see how smoothly it runs. As we're on the test screen right now, I do have audio through my headset, so that's why I'm on it. Oh, I just kicked myself out, so let's try that again. Next time we'll click drive and not the power off button, right? So it's got to load back in because SimSation kicked itself out. We are in 1920 by 1080, as you can see on the bottom left there. We're going to hit here, and now we're in the car. Definitely not a bad lap right there, 222, 295. So let's exit out of this and let's go after our next title. Oh, we don't need to save the replay, so we can just return out of here. Hit the power button. We'll exit Assetto Corsa. And that was test number 1 right there, Assetto Corsa. Hopefully some of these other ones will be a little bit shorter. That's a 2.5-mile track, so with a lot of corners on it, right? That's Monza. I figured the Moza needed some laps at Monza. So next we're going to do, let's do R Factor 2 because this one's pretty cool. I got the go-karts on here. And let me tell you something, the AI on this thing is fast too. So let's see if we can get loaded into R Factor 2. This one was a little bit of work to get it to work on Linux. I will tell you that. And I don't think it's just the Linux version it's on either. I think it would have been that way. It probably been harder on other Linuxes, honestly. SteamOS has made gaming on Linux easier, in my opinion. I think that he's put the tools in this one to make it a lot easier when it comes to gaming on Linux. And that's, well, I think we're going to get loaded up here. There it goes right there. The automatic update started. All right, so we'll click here to start. I'm going to do single player, but you can see the different options you have right here. And I thought that this was pretty cool. We're in the Briggs 206 go-kart right there. And this is called Kart Sim Trackhouse Motorplex right there. So let's go ahead and hit the start button. And it'll take a few seconds to load in. I'll cut a lot of this out to cut the video down so it's not, 500 hours long or nothing. So we'll cut it down and just do some showing you basically how smooth it's running on StormOS. Another Windows title right here. So not a Linux title, right? R Factor 2's a Windows title. And you can see right here that it's loading up fine. We're going to click the drive button. And we're in a go-kart. Back here, exit, okay. So in case you haven't heard of this one and you like racing, There's plenty more different cars you can choose from in different series in R Factor 2, and I think R Factor 2 is a good one for anyone that likes sim racing. So the third one I'm going to try here is Dirt 3. And I know Dirt 3 works because I actually had it on a computer we were testing in a Linux video, and it may have been this one, to be honest with you. So Dirt 3 originally came out for Linux. I think it's worked for Linux on Linux from the very beginning. So this isn't a Windows only title that we're trying right here. I don't know why it's not full screen though. That part should have been full screen. I guess we'll do it windowed mode, they call it. We'll call it Linux mode. We won't test this much because I know it'll work. Is there a way to get into full screen on this, guys? On Windows, if you're in it, you could click like Alt Enter and it would go full screen, but okay, we shouldn't have did that. We should have just, well, can we get out of there? Yeah, we'll close it. We're not doing Dirt 3 because I don't feel like doing all that right now. I haven't played this since December of 2015, it says. We might have a download update to do or something. I don't even know if it works. So this is a good one to do. This is Dirt Rally. So Dirt Rally, I think, I know it's older than Dirt 3. Oh, that didn't work. Maybe these were Windows game, guys. Okay, I'll have to figure that one out. See, that one didn't work, so I might need an older Proton to run that one. We did R Factor 2, we did Assetto Corsa, we did Dirt 3. You can see we loaded into it. So I think that's going to wrap it up on my testing here. I wonder if we can, what could we change on this one, right? Properties. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what launch options we want to do there, or go to compatibility. Let's just back this one up, guys. Let's try it on Proton GE. It says update. I don't even think it was installed. I think that's what the whole problem is. Of course, it's going to fail because it wasn't updated. But when I change that over to Proton GE, did you see that? I switched it to Proton GE and it automatically went to update. So that is pretty damn cool, right? So I'm pretty sure we're going to get that one to work, but I'll have to get back with you on it because this is a pretty big update, even on my internet here. So the 3.7 gigabytes is going to take a hot minute to get done. We're already, at 500 megabytes, but you guys get the gist of how the gaming on Linux is going so far for SimRacer, right? Let me show you the program that I use for my steering wheel. This right here is called Box Flat. And Box Flat literally almost has the same options for my Moza wheel as the Moza Sim House. So if you look up there at the steering position, you can see it changing from negative to positive because I'm turning the wheel left and right. All right, so if I get the wheel center where I want it, you see it's at -2, click the center button and it centers it out. Look at the pedals. There's your throttle input. There's your brake input. And I don't have a clutch, so we don't have that. Here's the base itself. That's the degrees of rotation that you can set the wheel at. That's how many times it'll rotate around. So we're set at 900 degrees right now. But if I want to change that to, let's say, 1080, then it'll turn even farther and go to 1080 degrees. And if I want to bump it up to, say, 1800, then it'll just turn even farther and go to 1800. You might be more realistic on something like Truck Simulator doing this right here. It's a direct drive wheel, so I can go up to 2700 easily. But I, for racing, usually stay around 900 degrees, right? Here's the basic settings. What's nice on this, though, if you go to the pedals, if you do any kind of sim racing or anything, these are the curves for my pedals, right? So that's my throttle pedal right there. I can literally set it for linear, S curve, exponential, or parabolic. I can do any one of those. The range start. I can make the throttle come in later. I can choose where it comes in. And you can even do that with the brakes too. If you go over to the brakes, you got full adjustments on them too. This is real big in sim racing because you can literally, it's like putting a, if you understand cars and drag races and drag racing, it's kind of like having traction control, right? And even oval track, dirt racing and stuff, you know how big of an advantage traction control is? That's what this is like. And it's like being able to set that up in your pedals. So you really have a lot more to play with right there. So that is called Box Flat. And where I got it was simple. I went right here to the shopping bag called Discover. Let that load in for a second, and then I'll show you. We got updates we need to do on this one too, so we'll go ahead and do that. So you can see just the popular stuff right there, but when I was looking, I just did this right here. I put in Box Flat. See it right there? Configure Moza Racing hardware. Click it. You can see I already have it installed. It says launch. But this tells you everything about it. Wheelbases, wheels, pedals, handbrakes, sequential shifter, H pattern. So I didn't have to do nothing, guys. I didn't have to go into the terminal and do anything to get this to work. It just worked, right? I put it on here, I launched it, and it worked. And now every time before I launch a game, I come in and I open up Box Flat so I have my Moza working the way it's supposed to. And it's no different in Windows. I have to have Moza's Pit House going or it won't work right. And that's just a fact. So it's no different in Windows. I'm going to click Updates right here. You can see we have updates for Google Chrome, Kdenlive, Microsoft Edge. I put that on there on the test video on the live stream. Just to show you if you're a fan of the Edge browser, you can use it on Linux, right? Proton Up Qt has a update too. Proton GE has one, and KDE application platform. So I'll run those updates after our Linux is done downloading Dirt Rally, and I think it's almost done. Will it launch now? That's the biggest question. And when you're doing the Windows stuff, you do have to play around with that, but you've seen exactly how I did it in Steam. I click this, and there's other ways to play your games on Steam, guys and gals. I think it's going to go now. It says it's running, so I don't see where it's running at. The Dirt Rally right there. Bam. That's the best way to put it. That's what I love about StormOS over other Linuxes is I can literally grab what I need from the repository and make this stuff work. My steering wheel, everything. So let's go in by continuing. You agree to the terms of the license and agreement. So Jay accepts it. We can do that because I've already done it before. Well, I click J. How many times I need to click J, man? J, 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 J. Maybe you got to F1 first to view it. I don't know what it's doing. There we go. All right. So this looks... It must have been a long time since I did this. I'm not buying anything to do it. All right, I'm done with this one. I don't recall having to buy anything or anything to do this before other than the game. So I'm not sure what they changed before they shut that down because I haven't been on it since 2015. So I'll take that one off my Steam. I don't even care to use that anymore. If they're going to play stuff like that, we're done with it, right? So let's close Steam out and run our updates real quick and see how that works out and goes for you. There's a quick icon down here, or you can just click the handbag and go down to updates, right? If you go to installed, you can see everything that SimStation has installed on here. Kden Live Video Editor, Google Chrome, Box Flat, Microsoft Edge, OpenRGB, Proton Up, Qt, VLC, WIV, VRN server, codecs, all the normal stuff that comes with installing it, and then everything that everything been put on there. So if we go to update all, a pending update will be installed when restarting the system. Okay. Are you going to update the rest of it, or? The other way you can do this stuff, guys and gals, is open up a console. This is how I normally do it. And put in PUP Hit enter. Click yes. And this should do some installation. So we're going to let that do that. I'm going to get this headset off my head. And I guess we can do a video closeout here on our Thursday video. All right, guys. So that was our testing here on StormOS. I know I'd done a little bit of it when I put that system together to do this, and after I think it was the video of the day that I did the live stream on it 2 weeks ago. So it's been 2 weeks, but since I did the Mac OS video last week, then I'm gonna say it's been 1 week. 1 week of testing because I've been doing other stuff in the background. Obviously, I had to film the video on the machine I'm on now, which is the Mac OS. So that kind of got in the way, right? I had to film that one. It got in the way a little bit. So now we're back here, and I've got the webcam on it, but I don't have a chroma key set up because I had to take all that out so we could do a full screen on the Linux over there when we were doing a little bit of gaming on it. But you can see what we have right there, StormOS 21.7. This is the KDE Plasma version, like I was telling you. And you can see our system specs down there with our Ryzen 5 2600 processor and whatever else it says. You can probably see it better than me because I'm looking at a little OBS screen and you're seeing the full thing. Can I switch over to my... Let's do this. Let's add Mac screen capture real quick. And then you can see exactly what I'm on. Not that one. There we go. That's exactly the screen I'm on right here. Let me see if my camera will come back. There it is. I'm up there in the corner. We got all three right here. So we got a Linux background, we got me, and we got the Mac OS screen. So that sums it up. That's about what I'm doing right here. So I'll show you what I did. It's going to show a little bit different graphics card. It'll show it as a Navi 14 4GB. The RX 5500 is in here, guys and gals. So that's what I switched to on this one. Still the 26.5.1 Tahoe. So the video's not about the Mac. It's just what I'm doing. It's just what I'm recording a video on. It's what I captured to. So this is the video that captured everything. No Windows was involved in it, which means that, yes, I can, and I will. 4 races away. 1 month away from dumping Windows from my life. I suggest any of you guys and gals figure out how to do the same thing because Microsoft has lost their ever-living mind. And it's all about the big almighty greenback dollars. That's all they want. And that's a fact. And if you guys and gals want to say enough is enough, just like SimSation did, then you'll do the same exact thing. Uh, Mac OS is not the answer, but I like it for video editing. You guys know that because I've used it so much doing it on the SimSation channel. But it's been on a PC. It hasn't been on a Macintosh, right? So I have done that. And Mac OS is going to go on. I'm going to dual boot the main PC. And my main one, I mean the big red Cougar, the big monstrosity case, the Conqueror 2, Cougar Conqueror 2 case. So that's my main rig. I'm going to dual boot that. I'm going to dual boot it with Mac OS Tahoe, and I'm going to dual boot it with Linux, likely StormOS, because honestly, I think Ben Fitzpatrick has done a great job on it. I've been using it for 2 months now. So it hasn't been a month and a half. I've been using it for 2 months, and I think he did a fabulous job on it. And I think any of you guys and gals that want to download it are going to see the same exact thing that SimSation did, that he did a good job on it. I don't have any crashes with it or anything. It runs 24/7. I never shut that PC off. It just runs with that Linux on it. Signs in every time I need it to. It updates right. And every time I open up Steam and go in those games for playing around and testing, it just goes right into them. R Factor 2 was the newest one I put on there, and getting the go-karts on there. Because racing go-karts in real life, and even when my son comes home from the Air Force, we go and we do the rental race kart races. And those are a ton of fun. We have a place not too far from me. So it's fun to get up there and see who can, to get on the track together and just see who can cut the fastest lap, right? And you're there with other people too, so it is a competition. There's no doubt about it. And those rental tracks do private racing too. So that's one of the things they do is private racing, so you can do that. I think that I can do some changes here and make this Mac a full screen thing and still get my camera back, I think. I don't know how, but I think there might be a way I can do it. Get the drag. Well, we're not going to worry about it in this video because we're going to close it out. Tell me your thoughts on Linux and whether or not you're using StormOS, but what's your thoughts on Linux in general, whether it's Cashy, Linux Mint, ZornOS, Anduin, or whatever Linux that you might be messing with. Anduin OS is still on my Linux server, and because on my media server, and because it works so well on there, it's going to stay on there, and that's nothing against Ben. I just did it a long time ago, right? So it's going to keep Anduin OS on it. I don't use it as a daily, but anytime I get on my Plex server on my Roku, when I'm watching TV and want to watch my shows, guess what? It works, and it plays my TV perfectly, the content. So we're going to leave Anduin alone and let it ride. But when it comes to a daily, for my gaming and even doing daily desktop stuff, you better believe it's going to be on StormOS. That is until Ben just quit supporting it, right? So that's my that's my 1 week evaluation, because we'll call this week 1 of doing it. So that's my 1 week evaluation on StormOS and gaming. And when I'm ready to start talking about dual booting with Mac OS and StormOS as a second, then I think you can pretty well see that SimSation is serious about this this version of Linux, and I am. It's worked great. It's been flawless. So thank you, Ben. But that's going to do it for the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more great content like this. And I'm going to keep doing the Tuesday night videos, building PCs. And on Thursday, we're going to do some gaming testing and try to get some different stuff going on StormOS to see if after 30 days or 4 videos of using that and filming for you, whether or not I still support StormOS at the end of it. I'm going to tell you the answer is probably a definite yes based off my 2 months total that I've used it. So you guys and gals, you tell me in the comment section what you think. What do you think? Have you tried StormOS yet? Have you really given it a shot? And tell me what your results are and what you think about it. That's going to do it, though. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll catch you on the next SimSation video.